For updates on sports stories across the globe, Ebi Iyomon joins us. Ebi, finally seeing you today. Ebi was trolling me over the weekend. We're very welcome, Ebi. Good to see you.
Well, good to see you too, Ayo and Rufai. First time I was seeing Manchester City.
It's fine, Ebi. It's fine.
Well,
it's not fine.
On the Premier League today.
It's not fine. She knows what she did, but it's not fine.
It's well, Ayo. Yeah, so we'll begin with this segment with the National Sports Council meeting. This is the first one of its kind, which is going on in Enugu. It's the first one since the demerger of the Youth and Sports Ministry, and it's taking place in Enugu. The sports minister's hopes is to revolutionize Nigerian sports and ensure that there's growth and development in the sports segment. And so many have spoken about the fact that sports in Nigeria still needs to be a huge revenue yielding industry, and that is what he seeks to obtain in this meeting. And now a lot of technical meetings will be going on, and a lot of consultants will be here to deliberate on all these issues. And the governor of the state, that's Peter Omba, in opening remarks says that they need to focus on athletes' welfare, infrastructure, amongst other things. We'll see how that pans out, because in the past ministry tenure under Sunday Dare, he was talking about the sports industry policies, and we'll see other policies being ratified and implemented after this. Hopefully it works out well for Nigeria, because when it comes to sports, a lot of talks have been on revenue generation. I've really not seen so much on that part of sports here in Nigeria. And away from that, we have countries continue to release their Copa America squad list ahead of the tournament, which kicks off in June, from June 20th to July 14th. Now, Argentina are the latest to have released their squad list of 26. 22 of the 26 players from the World Cup are part of the squad list, but noticeably absent is Paulo Dybala, and some are saying, why is he out of that squad list? We also have Johan Fort out of that list and Amalda out of that list too. But the regulars, stars like Lionel Messi, Angel Di Maria, and all are on that squad list. We set our pounds out for that. And for Brazil had to expand their list from 23 to 26 after CONMEBOL, that's the South American governing body, showed that from 23 it was increased to 26. Now, Ederson is out injured, and he had to be replaced there by Sao Paulo's goalkeeper to ensure that the team is fully ready for the South America tournament, that is the Copa America. Argentina are the defending champions, and both teams will have to play friendly games before the Copa America. As it stands, they are underdogs, they are dark horses. We had the likes of Uruguay, Ecuador, Colombia, USA, who are also hosting the tournament, all in action. We'll see who wins at the end of the tournament, but Argentina and Brazil will always be favorites for the Copa America. And we'll come back to a Nigerian athlete, that's Favour Ofili, who's kept on shattering records. In just 1 year, she's been able to shatter the 150-meter record, 200-meter indoor record, and 300-meter indoor record for Africa. And now she did the latest one in Atlanta City Games over the weekend, where she ran 16.20 seconds. In that race, which she became the fastest African woman over the 150-meter race. We already know that the Olympics kick off come July 26th, and so many Nigerian athletes have already been flying the flags. In this same race, we saw Tobi Amusan run and finish second behind Kendra Harrison. We also saw Ese Brume come third in the long jump. We saw Udodu Onwuzurike finish fourth for his first race of the year in the 100 meters. Hopefully, all the Nigerian athletes who have kept on engaging in races and competitions turn up and show up for Nigeria at the Olympics, which will take place from July 26 to August 14 there. And to the French Open, where Rafael Nadal was received with a rousing welcome from the fans. We already know that he missed the last French Open, that's 2022, due to injury for the first time in 19 years. He is the king of clay, and a lot of expectations are high as he might just be retiring after this particular tournament. Rafa Nadal is a 22 Grand Slam times champion, and we know that for the French Open, he's won it 14 times, unprecedented, and it's something very, very, very rare to even see in a Grand Slam at all. But for this same French Open, a lot of expectations are high as the top seeds have been confirmed. For the women, we have Iga Swiatek, who's been dominant. There's Arina Sabalenka. There's Coco Gauff on the top of the rankings. And they will be seeing if they could face maybe less stronger opponents. We also have Naomi Osaka, who is unseeded. She could be facing a very tough competition. And for the men, we have obviously Novak Djokovic, there's Carlos Alcaraz, there's Casper Ruud, Yannick Sinner, all topping the top seeds there. And there are talks that Djokovic could face off Alcaraz in the semi-finals with the way the rankings are. We'll see other pounds that it proves to be interesting, competitive, and definitely potential tense and top-notch matchups in the French Open. We'll see other pounds that in French Open. That's all for me on the sports segment today.
Okay, AB, please don't troll us now. You know why? Because it is today we see, it is this season we see, we do not see next season. Congratulations to Man City. You know, they've been able to break that jinx 4 times and winning the league back-to-back in a row. I think 6 trophies he's won. He's about the most successful coach in Europe, over 33 trophies in the last 15 years. Very successful one. But you see, it is not good to troll the apprentice because Arsenal's back-to-back near trophy miss is even a testament to the greatness of Guardiola. Because that was the same Mikel Arteta that worked closely with Guardiola. And that should mean a lot. That he's not just only a man that can fend for himself, he can provide good successors. And that's why we're excited. So, because Guardiola worked with Arteta, Guardiola's win is Arteta's win. In the end, we are both winners. I think that's the good word for football. To be able to placate, you know, the bleeding Arsenal fans. So please, enough of the troll. I do not think Nadal will be able to give a stab at it at Roland Garros. And in fact, probably this might be his final curtain call, you know, because he's paid through a lot of pain this season and it's not easy still competing at that top level. And kudos to Nadal. I mean, kudos to Rafa. He doesn't have a point to prove to anybody again. He's already the partner of greatness in this game. At this stage now, he's just playing because of the love he has for the game. And how far that can carry him, definitely we can see. You know, he's not been able to shine like a million stars. But we all saw a couple of seasons ago the brilliance he came up with, and he still nicked one of the top tournament trophies. So we can just only hope for the best. Maybe I would like to ask you a very important question. Have they finally paid all the bills from the All-African Games to our athletes? All the bills they owe them.
Well, that's a very important question, Rufai. There's still talks from the ministry that there are technical issues and all of that, but I know for a fact that not all the athletes from the African Games have been paid. For instance, some of the badminton players are yet to be paid. We also have some of the wrestlers yet to be paid. But what is most confirmed is that not all the athletes and even officials are yet to be paid. We don't know what is holding it back because we keep on speaking to the ministry, but there are talks of BVN, like they have kept on saying about BVN, athletes who are abroad. But there are also talks and sources here in Nigeria about Nigerian athletes based here in Nigeria who have not yet gotten their bonuses.
AB, I'm sorry, I know you went to that tournament. That's what I'm deliberately asking. When did you people come back from? When did that tournament end?
Almost 2 months ago. That's
okay.
March 26th.
God bless you, AB. 2 months after, they've not paid them. And we're preparing for Olympics. Thank you so much, AB. I think I've made my point clear this morning.
All right, that brings me nicely to the event ongoing, the 3-day event in Enugu State, National Council on Sports. And I'm hoping that these are some of the issues that will be discussed, tabled before the stakeholders, the main stakeholders in sports in Nigeria. It is spearheaded by the Minister of Sports, Senator John Eno, who is seeming to want to really invest in sports since it has been, removed from being the Ministry of Youth and Sports. And there he has invited commissioners of sports in different states across Nigeria, some permanent secretaries and different stakeholders in sports. And what they're saying is that they're trying to chart a course for the future of sports in Nigeria, having identified the potential as a tool for promoting national unity and also identifying it as a big industry. As with many parts in the world where they're able to use sports, some key sports to attract revenue, that this could also potentially, we have such potential, AB, in sports in Nigeria. And I'm sure you'd agree with me that very recently and in previous years, we haven't been able to really maximize potential and manage that industry properly. Now, as we often say when we have meetings like this, stakeholder meetings like this, is that we hope that it will not just end as a talk shop, but that there'll be a roadmap and a document developed, and that beyond that, the implementation for that will happen, so that we don't have press releases, nice pictures, and then we return back to status quo where we have issues around lack of infrastructure, we have lack of proper remuneration, we have promises that are left unremitted, and so that we are able to have a stronger sports industry. I'm really excited about that. And I want to say kudos to the sports minister, but this is just the beginning. It's just a talk first, and then we can then move on to other things. But if I were to ask you, what are some of the quick wins? What are some of the wins, well, maybe not just quick, but in the short and long term for the sports industry in Nigeria? What are some of the outcomes you're expecting from this council meeting?
Oh, I'm expecting a whole lot, Ayo. Before you ask that question, I wanted to make some additions. I'm expecting a whole lot from this meeting, because when it comes to sport in Nigeria, Nigerian sports is not yet at the level where you can say it can churn in a lot of revenue. And you ask why. For so many reasons, because you need transparency, you need branding. That's something Nigerian sports is really not so good at. When you look at other sporting federations, be it football, be it badminton, be it athletics around the world, Jamaica when it comes to athletics, for instance, England when it comes to football, and the US and Morocco and all, you see their branding, you see the efforts they put in social media branding, the efforts they put into player branding, even club branding and everything. And because of this, they get different levels of sponsorships. So now when you do not have that in Nigeria, it takes efforts for an investor to want to put in their own money when they know that, one, they do not even know where they gain from, and they do not even know if their monies will be accounted for and if there's transparency. So when Nigeria can unlock that and ensure that there's growth in the grassroots, I think the Nigerian sports will be big, because different athletes in Nigeria who have different potentials, be it from athletics, be it from football, badminton. We have Okpeyori, who won Nigeria's first gold medal at the African Games, and who is one of the highest ranked African players in the world. And people do not really even know him. If he was branded properly, if he was put in the faces of people, I think he will get more sponsorships. We do not always have to rely on the government, but the administrators also need to know how to generate money. That's why they are managers. That's why they are administrators. So I think that we need training and retraining here in Nigeria to ensure that these administrators know what to do. The investors have confidence in the Nigeria sports industry. If not, this sector will remain the same.
Absolutely. If I were going to say something.
Yeah, AB, I just so sorry about my questions this morning, though. They're like darts. I also want to ask, a couple of months to the Olympics, where are we as regards the kitting of the athletes? Do we have a proper kit deal now?
I didn't get that.
Kits. The kits that they're going to wear, the athletes. Sports kits. Do we have a proper kit deal now?
Yes, okay. Well, that has not been announced. We saw the kits they use at the African Games, but I know that plans are already being made for it to be released. In previous years, and it's very okay to ask these questions, especially to enlighten the public, because in previous years, there's almost always the issues of kits for the athletes, or you see the wrong names being branded on the shirts, on the kits of these athletes. But hopefully, I think we need to see something different. But even aside the kitting, I think what is most important is the fact that these athletes engage in important competitions like we are already seeing. If they keep on doing that just before the Olympics, I know that they will be properly fit and ready to take on any strong contenders. But what's important to note is that at this point, Nigeria has a lot of medal prospects, especially Blessing Oborodudu, who finished with a silver medal last time out. There is also Ese Brume, there's Tobi Amuso, and there's Favour Ofili, who so many look at. She's been doing very well. So hopefully they have no issues when it comes to welfare, when it comes to generally welfare, be it monies, be it campaign, be it kits or otherwise. Hopefully the ministry takes this seriously and we see a better outcome at this Olympic as opposed to the rest.
All right, just want to say congratulations to Ancelot, announced as the new Liverpool head coach, taking over and has very big shoes to fill. But I mean, people are quite excited about that and saying that I don't know how he's going to do it. If you look at his track record, I mean, he was a midfielder and then gone on to coach some clubs in the Netherlands. But in terms of experience, in terms of being compared to Jurgen Klopp, a big act to follow. We'll see how the next few months will be. He starts his contract on the 1st of June of this year. Congratulations, but I don't know if I should say congratulations because the work is about to be tough. Thank you very much, Ibi.